adding something on Facebook while we do it. So
I understand. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're here for another edition of Zielinski Real Estate Group live local business events. We're here with Dave Scott of Laurel Oak Garden Center. For those of you from Marlton, you probably know him because I think other than the mayor, he's probably the second famous person in town.
You're too kind, Scott.
Thanks for joining us, Dave. We appreciate you taking time. I know you guys are busy with Memorial Day coming up, but taking the time to talk with us here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Scott. I know with your great team there, you guys are busy too.
Thanks. We appreciate it. So for those of you who don't know, Dave is the owner of Laurel Oak Garden Center in Marlton. Fantastic store. My wife and I go there on not a regular basis, but a fairly regular basis for the amount of gardening that we do.
Yeah.
So if you would, Dave, just give us a little history of Laurel Oak and kind of maybe some of the products you guys offer and services.
Sure. Yeah, Scott. We've been in business since 1986. My brother Guy and I started it. I was a couple years out of college. I got a degree in landscape architecture. He got a degree in agricultural business, and we started the garden center in the landscape division, and we actually started out in a place we rented in Berlin. And 36 years later, 36 years later, we have our property, our store that we own in Marlton there. Our landscape office is over in Medford, and we've grown quite a business. We've got the landscape division, the retail store, a wholesale yard. So we really pride ourselves on the unique, the different, the better quality products, and as well as the knowledge and the service. It's just like yourself. There's a lot of people in our industry, a lot of people in your industry, but really what it comes down to is the knowledge, the service, the professionalism. And we do really pride ourselves on that.
Yeah, I'll say when we've been there and had questions, your staff everybody has not only been very courteous, but also very informative, or if they didn't know, they guided us to the right person and they would write in and help us out. And I think this day and age with big box stores for the small business owners like yourself and your type of business, that's huge because your service, you might be a little bit pricier than a Lowe's or Home Depot, but to me, the service that you get when you go on the recommendations, and this is how you take care of this plant or that plant is huge, and I would think would set you apart from big box stores like that or corporate stores.
Yeah, it's interesting because I get people all the time that there's seconds in just about any industry, and the seconds, the ones that didn't make the grade, end up going to the big box stores. People always tell me, "Gee, every plant I bought from you lived. Everything worked." One of the best examples I like to use of our service, we had a customer one time that called us, and she said, "Oh, so-and-so," one of the ladies that work at the store answered, and she said, "I'm at," and it was a big box store, I won't name, but, and said, "I'm there now, but nobody here knows anything, and I know you guys know what to do. What seed and fertilizer should I be buying?" And, that to me was just a testament right there. Yeah, you know that we know what we're doing,
Yeah, sorry, I have my landscaper just started up his blower literally right outside my office door, so I'm hoping he's going to walk to the backyard here.
There you go. Yeah.
But one of the stories I love, for those of you that don't know Dave, I actually met Dave through the MBA, the Marlton Business Association, as well as the UCHAM Education Foundation, which we're both a part of here in town. Yes. And I always love this story about at the MBA, the guy, what does he call you? Not hydrangea. What's the one flower he said he bought and lasted forever?
The poinsettia.
Story,
yeah. We've got a great long story about that some people find pretty humorous. So come to a Marlton Business Association December meeting, and you can hear the story.
It makes me laugh every time I hear it. But it's so true, like you said, about the quality of products that you guys have compared to some of these other stores. Our first year in our home, we bought some flowers from you for Outback, and the amount of compliments that we got, and they lasted all year long. And I have the luxury of having your cell phone number, so when I thought they were dead, I texted you, and you're like, no, just clip the button off. And they immediately, within a day or two, came back, and they were stunning and lasted the whole, the entire summer and even into the early fall.
Yeah. Well, it's Scott, it's a lot like you and what you guys do there. We're members of the community. We're here. I live in town. I believe in Evesham. I believe in the surrounding communities. And we believe on building relationships. I'm not, so a lot of times people are surprised when they're like, oh, you didn't try to sell me something. They came in saying, oh, hey, I think, here's my plan. I think it's dead. I need another one. And then they show me a picture of it. Oh, no, just, do this or that, and it's going to be fine. And they're like, wow, normally somebody would have just tried to sell something. I'm interested in the long run, in relationships, that type of thing. And I know you guys are the same way.
Yeah, and that's why you guys have been around so long and so successful at it. That's huge. But fill us in a little bit about, with COVID, how you guys have adjusted on the day-to-day sales at the retail store, and maybe some of the things you've implemented as far as for safety for customers coming, maybe number of people in the store, or how they're paying, things like that.
Yeah, sure, Scott. I mean, anybody that's been allowed to stay open has been doing these things. Everything mandated by the state. We've got hand sanitizers in the store. We've got plexiglass shields at the counter. We've got the, taped off areas for 6 foot when you come up to the counters for the spacing, for the social distancing. All the signage on all the entry point doors, requiring you to wear a face mask. Fortunately, a lot of our store grounds are outside. So you're outside, going through the greenhouses or the nursery where the plants are, or where our bulk and bag products are. So it's pretty easy to social distance out there. So we've pretty much been taking the standard precautions, and at the end of the day, wiping down commonly touched surfaces, things like that. So it's a lot of the things that the state has been asking us to do, and and the common sense things to do too, to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think how quickly people had to adjust, small business owners on the fly, to implement these things. And I'm sure the first couple of weeks it was probably changing on a day-to-day basis, or maybe an hourly basis.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, it's a new world for everybody. There was no playbook for this, but it was interesting because when we had to set up the plexiglass shields, for lack of a better term, one of my supervisors was like, we got the last sheet of plexiglass, because we've got a big open counter areas, and we put it up pretty quickly. But there was a run on supplies, and fortunately we had certain supplies already there. But even we've had some employees. It's been difficult because we've had some employees, understandably so, that have decided they might be living with their elderly parents or something, and they didn't want to take a risk, and so that they've opted to stay home for a while till this passes to some point where they feel safe. So it's been great because we've actually seen employees step up, and those that you didn't think could do something or never thought would, suddenly they're meeting the challenge, and it's really been refreshing to see how our employees have been able to respond and perform real well with this new environment.
Yeah, that's great to hear. You're actually the first one that has brought that up, how other people are stepping up, like you said, that maybe you thought, okay, they can do the basics, but they're going to that's what they might always do. And now you're probably giving them tasks to handle that before you weren't sure if they could handle it, and they're stepping up and knocking them out and stuff. That's good.
Yeah, it's really nice. It shows how you've been taught that hey, you give people a task, let them rise up, and a lot of people will respond to that. But it's just really nice to see it in practice.
Yeah, that's great, and I'm sure go into it now. We have the Memorial Day weekend coming up here.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been busy the past couple weekends because the weekends, the weather has been fairly nice for people to come in and buy things. So what do you guys have anything going on this weekend? Any specials or any, maybe certain type of plants you want to buy over this weekend and start planning and things like that?
Yeah, great question, Scott. Now, hey, let's face it, it's been a relatively cool spring.
Mm-hmm.
And now the danger of frost is over. So now's the time where you can really put out the more sensitive type plants, your annuals, your tropical plants, your vegetables, your herbs. Those last two, the vegetables and herbs, have been selling like wildfire. I know that's a cliche phrase, but it's interesting. They're inexpensive plants, but so many people, it's everybody's stuck at home, and and there's also, past couple of years, there's been even more of that organic environmental movement building and grow your own food. So we've had a lot of people coming in. It's actually been hard to get supply of some vegetable plant material, but that's one thing that we're really selling and stocking real well, fortunately. The vegetables and the herbs, a lot of people start in their garden, and because they're staying at home, the kids, it's kind of a fun thing to do. But specifically this weekend, Scott, we have 10% off on all our nursery stock, and we're actually offering free delivery for any nursery stock on purchases over $250. That's free delivery within a 12-mile radius. So that covers a lot of the area where our customers come from. And we're running a couple of other in-store specials on some of our annuals and hanging baskets. But looks like it's going to be another good gardening weekend. And I know in a way it seems some of us are stuck at home that you're losing track of the days. Is it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? You don't even know if it's a Saturday. But our customers sure do seem to know, and that is it's a great. We're going to have a long weekend here, and it's going to be good weather to get out and get in the garden.
Yeah, this weekend I've been trying to do yard work over the past 3 or 4 weeks, and you get one nice day, you get a little knocked out. You're like, all right, tomorrow, and then the weather is really bad, and hopefully this weekend I can knock out my whole yard. I have huge aspirations. We'll see if I get it completed. But, for all of you that joined us in the middle, I'm here with Dave Scott of Laurel Oak Garden Center here in Marlton. They have some great specials going on this weekend. Just like Dave said, they also have free delivery for orders over $250, you said, right?
Yeah, free delivery for nursery stock over $250. And, it's unique because we have such a great selection of nursery stock. You've been to our place, Scott. You've seen it. And we don't just have the standards that everybody else has, but we have a lot of specimen type material. And because we have not only the retail store, but the wholesale division and the landscape division, we're turning over stock all the time. So my point being, our stock's always fresh. And people will come to us in August when a lot of your local garden centers, the stock's looking a little tired, whatever. Ours is always looking fresh, but we typically don't have a sale at this time of the year because, hey, nursery stock sales are always great, and they are now, but we've decided, to give a little incentive to everybody for this weekend by offering 10% off and that free delivery for over $250.
That's great, especially for your clients that come there year after year or season after season. I'm sure they'll definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Throw a little bone to them, and hey, we know everybody's stuck inside. Hopefully this will brighten your day a little bit. It's always nice. So if anybody has any questions in regards to landscaping, their gardening, different types of plants, what you should be planting, you can call the center directly at 856-596-7779. Everyone there, like I said, is extremely knowledgeable, professional, courteous, so you'll be able to get the answer that you want. If not, I know they'll probably reach out to Dave and he'll have to get that answer for you. But also, Dave, what's your hours of operation this week, or weekend, so people know?
Yeah, great question, Scott. We're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 5.
Okay.
And I also like to point out we do deliver 7 days a week, and a lot of people are sometimes surprised when they're like, "Oh, how long in advance do you need to get a delivery out?" If you give us 24 hours, we'll have it there for you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time. We hope you guys are being safe. Hope business is great for you this weekend. I'm sure it should be with the weather and people now finally be feeling a little bit more comfortable getting out and buying some stuff and doing some yard work. So
yeah, great, Scott.
All right,
hey,
we
thanks.
appreciate it, and maybe we'll bring you on midsummer, end of summer. We can kind of talk about a new, what's going on that type of year, what people should be doing to prepare for the fall, or maybe what type of plants to go in the fall.
Hey, I'd love to, Scott. Thanks.
All right, I appreciate it, and I'll be back this evening at 6:30 with Amit Shah of South Jersey Techies here in Marlton. So tune in. We're also on YouTube at the Zielinski Real Estate Group, so you can check us out there. Everybody have a great afternoon. Thank you very much.